Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Taproom Success Show. I'm Kerry Shumway, joined as always by my good buddy Andrew Copeland. Andrew,
Gary, I'm
how are you
excited to
today?
be here. It is a gross rainy day here in Virginia. It's the perfect day to record a podcast.
Yeah, it is. It's snowing here in New Hampshire, so not gross. It's just beautiful. It's a winter wonderland today.
My gosh, well, enjoy it from your office and looking outside.
I will, thank you. So today we're going to talk about a subject that's near and dear to my heart, and I know to yours, and that is loyalty programs. And you recently wrote an article where I didn't know this, but it sort of feels right to me, is that 4 out of 5 taproom staff are not encouraging guests to sign up for loyalty programs. What's going on here, Andrew? Why the struggle? Why aren't they doing
Yeah,
it?
I mean, you and I talk a lot about taproom habits, people working behind the bar, all of our friends, serving the guests. There's so many things we want them to do, right? And we talk about these habits that should become permanent behaviors, but unless you get it ingrained in your head that you're going to do these 10 to 20 things for every guest, it gets tough. So, the challenge is how can you build new habits? And, looking at the industry as a whole right now, we talk about it a lot, but we're not just competing against big beer. We're not just competing against, the other breweries nearby. It's every place that you could go and spend a dollar. And loyalty is so important. You want to get people in, but you don't want them to just come in and go to the other place next time. You want to find ways that you can become the place they always go to and you be the destination that they crave. Becoming that top choice is so important. So, short answer, why does staff have trouble with this? Because there's so many things that they need to do. But I will say, and I hope people understand after this conversation with us, getting people to return to your business results in them spending more money. You need to give them those reasons to return. So if you're going to pick between a few things to do while you're behind the bar your next shift, this can be a big one. We talk about introducing yourself, offering recommendations, and all of those things are great. But getting them to feel that extra connection that they want to call your place their own gets them coming back. And hopefully we can dive into that in just a moment.
Well, I think some of it too is like, what is the loyalty program? So maybe there has to be some ownership. Maybe there has to be some excitement around it. Because a lot of times we're like, oh, a loyalty program, it's a mug club hanging on the way, a big deal. So like sort of reimagining, but and also it's prioritization, right? It's like, what are we? Because I know a lot of tap rooms will do like a kind of a daily stand-up meeting and boom, quick meeting. What do we want to focus on today? So if you can, I think, bring that energy to it and reinvigorate it, that would make a big difference too.
Yeah, and I will say when I say loyalty, for the sake of this conversation, I'm talking about, staff asking someone to sign up. It could be your loyalty program. It could be your mug club. It could be your rewards program. It could be your membership. So I'm kind of putting them under that umbrella because all of those programs in some way are helping generate greater loyalty, kind of regardless of what it's actually called. So,
So
and
how
yeah,
do you,
like you said, to lead things off, 80 out of 100 guests aren't being asked to become a super fan. They're not asked to join some loyalty program. Granted, some of them may be part of that. We don't have data showing who's already part of the cool club, but the point is, most people are not being encouraged to sign up for these programs that give them benefits, that give them rewards, that make them feel that they're part of something exclusive.
so what needs to change? Like, how would you sort of summarize that for people who are like, okay, I get the data, but what needs to change so the guests can see the value and the staff can see the value too?
So I think there's three scenarios that we're currently seeing right now. The scenario that 80 out of 100 guests are experiencing is they're not even asked to join a loyalty program. So we want to stop that, and we want to pick from these other two scenarios. One of these two scenarios is definitely better than the other. The one that I'm seeing more common is simply the question, "Hey Carrie, would you like to sign up for the loyalty program?" Well, I'm glad they're asking the question, but something like that is just not very compelling. It's not me telling you, it's not the staff telling the guest why it matters to you. It's simply like, hey, Carrie, give me your email address and, I'll just send you a Friday email. You're not making the guest feel special. They're essentially just providing you their contact information for who knows what. I think where we need to pivot is making the guest the hero of this, getting them super excited about being part of the loyalty program, membership, rewards, whatever it may be. So, hey, Carrie, if you sign up for the rewards program today, you're going to get $5 off your next pint. You're going to get a limited edition shirt, 15% off all future purchases, larger mugs. You're going to get to come to special releases that most people can't come. You just got to get people excited. And the goal is, how can we make these programs come across as benefiting the guest, not the brewery. By me telling you all that, you're saving money. You're getting perks. You're unlocking something special and you're becoming the hero. You're like, oh my gosh, yes, I want to accept this great offer that Andrew's giving me because I win. And I think that's the difference right now. First off, we want to get people asking the question. But when you do, you don't want it to feel like the brewery is asking for something. You want it to feel like the guest is winning something. And that's, I think, really how we need to position it.
Yeah. No, I like that a lot. And we've talked about, Donald Miller's story brand, that having the customer be the hero. Because a lot of times we forget that. It's like, well, we're the
And
heroes.
that's what it
We're the
is.
brewery. Yeah. So putting them at the center of the story, inviting them in to be part of it. And so I think you're right. It's very much like, how is this valuable for the guest? So I think that's we talk about this a lot that staff maybe as a generalization don't like to sell, right? Because I don't want to sell, I don't want to be pushy. But people can't buy what you don't have. But if you're presenting it in a fashion of it's a suggestion and or here are all these, I don't know, there's all these great benefits. Do you want to check these things out? You're really just letting them know, hey, we have this. The other thing I guess I would say is that maybe staff would feel more comfortable, more supported in this with sort of collateral sales, right? So there's signage on this. I mean, there's table tents, there's something on the menu. Hey, so it's not just so the customer has maybe already been I hate to use the word desensitized, but they've already seen it, right? Like sometimes
It
people
becomes a blur at that point. And you don't want that.
you don't want to blur, but you also do want ways to reach people in where they are. So for example, if like I'd really rather you not talk to me at all or ask me anything, but I will scan that QR code. Great. Or I'm the kind of guy that I don't know, I didn't even see it. That's awesome that you asked me. So coming at it from different ways, I think maybe can help. So you have an environment of, hey, we have this awesome stuff. We're just letting you know about it. So you're back. You froze there for a minute.
You were frozen, my friend.
We were both
I don't know
frozen.
what's going on.
Well, we're back now. So let's talk about trends. We love trends. So what trends are you seeing in like maybe guest behavior once they join rewards, especially around
So, yeah.
frequency
So,
and whatnot.
a lot of the data strategies I share, they make sense. If you ask someone to sign up for the loyalty program, they're going to be more likely to. If you make them feel like they're the hero, they're going to be more likely to actually get pumped on it and feel like they need to be part of this. So we see that when guests are asked about these loyalty programs, nearly 30% say they'll return within a week. 30% say they'll return within a week versus 15% when they're not asked about loyalty programs. So they're twice as likely to return within a week by getting them to feel like they want to be part of this program. We talk a lot about engagement and how engaged guests spend 40% more. So on visits to a tap room, when staff are asking if you want to sign up for the loyalty program, those who are asked that question are nearly 70% to rank that experience as high engagement. Once again, those high engagement visits spend more, higher tips win for everybody. Versus, on visits where the question is not asked, less than half of people are going to rate that as a high engagement visit. So those are a few big things there too. Now, when I talk about loyalty, we're giving people reasons to return. And I think another way you can give people reasons to return, it's not quite these loyalty programs, membership, mug clubs, but let people know about the events that you have. And, going on another tangent for a sec, we're not doing a good enough job about having event calendars. I know we put them in weird places, we put them in bathrooms, we put them on the tables. Just like you mentioned, we can desensitize people about them, but we're only seeing events calendars on about 60% of taproom visits. So 4 out of 10 guests, they might come for one event or another or just a pint, but your goal is to give them a reason to return. And 4 out of 10 times, they're not finding another event that really speaks to them. And I think this is really important for first time guests because for these first time guests who don't see an events calendar, 11% say they won't return. 11% of first time guests, if they don't see an event calendar, say they're not going to return. But if they have that visible calendar, that number drops to 5%. You're helping them find a reason to return. You're more likely to get them to want to be part of your loyalty programs. And that's really what it is right now. As we're in the hospitality business, we're not just competing against other breweries. We need to find reasons that guests want to come back. And I often sound like a broken record, but it's not just about the beer anymore. It's your staff, it's your atmosphere, it's your events, it's everything that you have to offer. It's asking guests, do you want to be part of our loyalty program and giving them a reason to do so. So, once again, everybody, they spend more money, They come back sooner. You make more money. It's a win for everybody. Just challenge yourself this week. Ask the question, do you want to sign up for the loyalty program? And don't just do it like that, but give them the reasons to do so. So that is your challenge for the week.
It's a good challenge. I would throw one more thing on top of that too, is to really understand who your customers are, right? Because some folks that are listening are like, well, that all sounds great, but we're in a very seasonal market. So people aren't going to come back every week. They're only going to come back, in the summer when it's nice or in the winter when they're skiing or so I would, say, and the loyalty program experts would say is like you can design different loyalty programs for different segments of your customer base. So I think the term the loyal locals, sure, everybody's got locals. Well, let's have something just for them. Or the seasonals, whatever you call it, is, they're only coming back, two or three times. Great, grab them so that when they do come back, you're their first choice. But really understanding kind of who your customers are. But this really hits the center of the bullseye. It's like the fundamental problem now. It's just getting more people in, and loyalty programs are a great way to do that. So if somebody wants to like improve this aspect of their business, like what would you recommend the first or next action is that they
Well,
could
first off,
take?
I hope you have some sort of loyalty program. Look at what you have. If you currently have some sort of, old-fashioned mug club, does it run efficiently? Is it easy for your staff to kind of track? Is it benefits that, are actually valuable to your guests? So evaluate what your loyalty offerings look like, no matter what that looks like, and then train your team to ask people about it. Because there's a lot of value to getting people excited to be part of these programs. You're giving them rewards, you're giving them benefits that are going to make them want to return. But I did mention it earlier, and I kind of joked about it being the least valuable part. It's like, oh, you're giving up your email address. Yes, you're giving up the email address, but you as brewery owners and managers can now use that as a tool to stay in touch with people and remind them of all the value that they can get from you. So reevaluate your loyalty program, get staff to ask about it, and get your guests really pumped on it.
We love those tips, Andrew. Great stuff as usual. And we've got lots of other tips too. On we talk a lot about events. Oh, one other thing I'm excited about now is
Tell me,
sales,
Carrie.
sales planning, forecasting. Because what ends up happening is we have a lot of great ideas, but we need to kind of formalize it into a sales forecast. Like, what's the point, right? And how's everybody going to benefit? How's the business going to benefit? So really sort of aggregating these ideas, putting them into your sales forecast. So more to come on that in terms of how to do that and how to track it and how to stay on top. But this is all stuff that we have for you in taproomsuccess.com if you want to check it out. Every month we have our monthly experts that come in. We talk about these topics. How to create a great loyalty program, how to run, events more efficiently and profitably, how to really build up your food program so you're making money there and running efficiently. All of these great things, great guests to speak to those. And then our monthly mastermind meetings where we have folks come together and we try to problem solve together as well. So if anyone wants to learn more, taproomsuccess.com is the place to find out, right, Andrew?
It is. Everybody, we hope to see you soon. Appreciate it. It's all about building the loyalty right now and giving people a reason to return. We'll see you soon. Cheers.